Good evening, everyone. Hello. I think everybody is available on the live class. I'm audible to everyone. Is it fine to everyone? Okay. So good evening, everyone. So today we are going to discuss about quadratic equation. Now, quadratic equation एक ऐसा topic है that is very important as far as examinations is concerned. अगर banking में भी आप देखो, so sometimes there will be some questions from quadratic equation, especially the comparison part. Right, so comparison के जितने भी questions होते हैं that will be more over related to the quadratic equation part. या फिर SSC में I will have a direct question related to the quadratic equation format. So we'll try to brush up some of the basics which is related to the quadratic equation format, right? So we'll directly move to the topic. Today's topic is based on the quadratic equation. Now, what are the goals of the class today? We'll be dealing about the concepts of the quadratic equation. Then we'll talk about some of the basic techniques related to the quadratic equations, right? So now let's speak on the important concepts which are required in the case of a quadratic equation. Now identify, as it's given here, that expression which in terms of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 are considered a quadratic equation, right? Or else I can say that if I have an expression as ax square plus bx plus c is equal to y, that is considered as a quadratic, not equation. That's expression, right? So that's something but a quadratic expression when the value of y is equal to 0. जब भी value of y is equal to 0, that will be considered as a quadratic equation, right? So there is a slight difference between quadratic expression and quadratic equation, right? So ये छोटी छोटी बातें जो है वो आपको ध्यान में रखनी है. Now when it's ax square plus bx plus c is equal to y, that is nothing but my expression here. But when it's equal to ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, this format is considered as a quadratic equation, right? So ये जो format है वो quadratic equation होता है. अगर normally देखा जाए तो if we'll draw the curve of quadratic equation or its expression, my curve will always be in this format. ये छोटी सी बात आप पहले समझ लीजिए, right? So my curve will be in this format where a should be greater than 0. अगर a का वैल्यू greater than 0 है, so my curve ऐसा बनेगा. But if my value a is lesser than 0, तो मेरा जो curve होगा वो इस टाइप से बनेगा. तो that depends, कभी ये नंबर लाइन क्रॉस करेगा, कभी ये क्रॉस नहीं करेगा, कभी सिर्फ नंबर लाइन टच करेगा, बट मेरा कर्व जो होगा वो ऐसा ही होगा. सो ये एक सिमेट्रिकल फॉर्मेट में बनता है. नाउ हियर द इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट्स व्हिच यू नीड टू कीप इन माइंड, जो एग्जामिनेशन बेस्ड फॉर्मेट है मैं उनकी बात कर रहा हूँ, राइट? सो ये जो है, ये जो प्लेसेस है, दे आर द वैल्यूज ऑफ एक्स. सो ये मैं मार्क कर देता हूँ, आप इसको आइडेंटिफाई करें. ये जो पॉइंट है और ये जो पॉइंट है, या फिर इस केस में ये जो पॉइंट है और ये पॉइंट है, ये जो चार पॉइंट्स हैं, they are considered roots of an equation in these cases. Now what is the root of an equation, right? So the values are nothing but alpha and beta. Let's mark alpha and beta for the time being. So alpha and beta are the values of x which will always provide me the value of y is equal to 0. So instead of x square, अगर मैं अल्फा लेता हूं तो a अल्फा स्क्वायर, मतलब ये जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन अगर इसमें अगर मैं डालूं a अल्फा स्क्वायर प्लस b अल्फा प्लस c, दैट वैल्यू शुड बी इक्वल टू 0, राइट? ये कंडीशन है. या फिर आप कहिए a बीटा स्क्वायर प्लस b बीटा प्लस c विल बी इक्वल टू 0, राइट? सो ये जो है कंडीशन दैट इज कंसिडर्ड एज द इक्वेशन फॉर्मेट. So whenever I am talking about a value as the points alpha and beta are those points on the number line which will always provide me the value of y equal to 0. These points are always considered as roots of an equation, right? So ये पहली बात है जो आपको ध्यान में रखनी है. So that represents, अगर मैं इस चीज को देखूं तो इस चीज में क्या कंडीशन पॉसिबल है? जो कंडीशन पॉसिबल है अगर आप को रिलेट करें, my equation is nothing but x square plus b by a into x plus c by a should be equal to 0. I can write my equation in this format. This is the first condition. Second thing is, if you'll identify, my condition is the value of x will be either alpha or else beta, where alpha and beta are considered roots of an equation. Now इस केस में क्या होगा कि if I'll take the value as x minus alpha, so if we'll take x minus alpha, so x minus alpha should be equal to 0, right, because x is equal to alpha. Similarly, I'll take x minus beta here, that should also be equal to 0, so the product will be equal to 0 here. So if I'll further extend this part, I can write this one as x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha into beta should be equal to 0, right? So ये condition. So that is my second equation, right? So अब आप इन दो equations को जरा correlate करें, right? So मेरा पहला equation है this thing that represents quadratic equation. Second equation is x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha into beta, right? So यहाँ पे अगर आप देखें, then the coefficient of x square is same in both the cases, and both represents my quadratic equation. So can I say the coefficient of x, which is b by a available here, will be same as the coefficient of x at this point with a negative sign, that means minus of alpha plus beta. Same way I can say, if we will check the value here, let's take one more part, c by a, right? So c by a should be same as this value, right? That's my representation possible. So if I'll work on both the formats, I can say that alpha plus beta is always equal to minus b by a, which is nothing but the summation of the roots, and the next one is nothing but alpha into beta is equal to c by a is the format available, right? So that's our first condition here. That represents, if I'm talking about the quadratic equation, a quadratic equation is always in terms of x square minus my summation of roots into x plus the product of the roots should be equal to 0. That's the basic representation of a quadratic equation, right? So अब आप quadratic equation को थोड़ा सा समझिए. इस condition में मेरा quadratic equation will be either in terms of alpha and beta, or it will be in terms of a, b and c, right? So it's ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. ये मेरा पहला condition है. My curves will always be in these formats. My curves will be dependent on the value of a. If a is greater than 0, my curve will be in this format. If a is less than 0, my curve will be in this format. Further, if I simplify the values, I'll get the value as x square plus b by ax plus c by a is equal to 0, which can also be written as x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha into beta should be equal to 0, right? So summation of the roots is nothing but minus b by a, and the product of the root is nothing but c by a, right? So ये basic variance है जो आपको ध्यान में रखनी है. तो अगर आपने ये देखा तो मेरा मेन जो फॉर्मेट है that's nothing but x square minus summation of the roots into x plus product of the roots, right? So ये basic फॉर्मेट है. अब इस पे थोड़ी सी डिस्कशन करते हैं. सपोज अगर मैं आपको एक इक्वेशन देता हूं, लेट्स से x स्क्वायर minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0, and I need to find out the roots here. So roots are nothing but alpha and beta, right? So let's try to find out the roots here, alpha and beta. There are two possibilities. Either I can directly find out the roots alpha and beta, or else if I'm not able to find out, I'll have to use some kind of formulas to find out the values alpha and beta here. तो आप क्या कर सकते हो? पहला कंडीशन तो ये है कि इसका कोएफिशिएंट 1 है, तो मैं 1 लिखता हूँ क्योंकि a x स्क्वायर प्लस कुछ कुछ फॉर्मेट जो भी होंगे वो है, राइट? सो हियर दिस पार्ट रिप्रेजेंट्स अल्फा इनटू बीटा and this part represents alpha plus beta, right? So I have to use alpha and beta in such a format so that my summation should be equal to 5 and the product should be equal to 6, right? That's my condition possible. So what are the conditions possible? It can be 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, or else I can write the value as 2 plus 3, sorry, 2 into 3 is equal to 6, right? So that means alpha will be 2 and beta will be nothing but 3, right? That's my condition possible here. So that's the first case, right? So आप directly ले सकते हैं. Same way, if I'll give it the format as 2x square minus 9x plus 10 is equal to 0. अब दो मेथड्स पे ध्यान दीजिए, हम लोग दो मेथड्स पे काम करेंगे. पहला मेथड तो ये हो गया कि I want to write this one as alpha plus beta, I want to write this one as alpha into beta. बट एक छोटी सी बात जो आपको ध्यान में रखनी है वो क्या है कि we are correlating two things. I am correlating this and this, right? So if we'll take this part, so let's take the product part here. If we'll take 2 into 10 is equal to 20, right? So I want to write the product as 20 and the summation as 9 here, right? So my job is to write the value as alpha plus beta as 9 and alpha into beta as 20. So क्या क्या values possible हो सकते हैं? 5 and 4. But identify, जब भी हम लोग quadratic equation देखते हैं, that's always in terms of x square minus plus b by a x plus c by a का format है, where a का value यहाँ पे क्या है? a का value is inverse 2 here. That means I have to divide these values by 2, right? So the values are 5 by 2 and 2, right? So these two are the values possible here, right? So these two will be the values possible in this case, right? So second thing which you can do here is, apart from this, if my equation is nothing but same 2x square minus 9x plus 10, right? So आप कुछ बेसिक एनालिसिस भी कर सकते हैं इस केस में. मेरा बेसिक एनालिसिस क्या होगा? Here, instead of this much, I can do one more thing. I'll do one thing. I'll just erase some of the parts now because we are already done with this. So I'll erase these values now, right? Let's move to the second format possible. Now what can be the second format possible? When I'm working on the second format, let's talk about this 2x square. So I can write this one as the product of two numbers, can be written as 1 into 2. That's my condition possible. Then I have to work on this. That's nothing but can be written as 2 and 5, right? So now my condition here is nothing but I have to take the value in such a format such that my summation will be 9. So what I'll do a cross multiplication here. First thing is this, I have taken this, right? So I'll write this one as 1x here and here as 2x, right? So here I'll take this cross multiplication. The value is nothing but also 1 and 5. That means the value is nothing but 5x here, right? And 2x into 2 is nothing but 4x, right? So now I want to use these two values. Let's say I have done this thing so that I want the summation of the values as minus 9x. Matlab ye I'll take minus sign here, I'll take minus sign here. If we'll add these values, that's always minus 9x, right? So that means if I am introducing minus sign here, I should introduce minus sign here, I should introduce minus sign here. That means it can be written as x minus 2 into 2x minus 5 is equal to 0, right? So that's my representation possible. So it can be written in this format. So that represents the value roots are nothing but 2 and 5 by 2, right? So ये एक अलग मेथड है जो आप यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं, बट आई वुड सजेस्ट डायरेक्टली फाइंड आउट करिए. डायरेक्ट रिलेशन है वो आप फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं एंड यू कैन वर्क ऑन. बट अगर इफ these things are not working, that means we have only one format which is possible, that's nothing but my roots. If it's given ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, then my roots alpha and beta will be nothing but minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a is the format, right? So ideally इस फॉर्मेट से क्वेश्चंस जल्दी नहीं आते हैं. नंबर्स ऐसे फ्रेम होते हैं कि यू कैन डायरेक्टली आइडेंटिफाई माई पॉसिबल कॉम्बिनेशंस, राइट. बट कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि कभी कभी इस फॉर्मेट में भी क्वेश्चंस आ जाते हैं, राइट. तो अगर आप ब्रेक नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, सो मेरा एक अदर फॉर्मेट ये है, दैट्स नथिंग बट it should be minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a, where b square minus 4ac is marked as d as discriminant, right? That's the basic format here which you need to keep in mind, right? So my nature of the root will always depend on the value of d. Now इस चीज को थोड़ा सा समझिए. अगर मैं कर्व बनाता हूं तो मेरा कर्व ऐसा हो सकता है, राइट. सो व्हेन d is greater than 0, my curve will be like this. That means it will cross the number line at 2 points. If it's crossing the number line at 2 points, that means the roots are nothing but real here and unequal, right? So real and unequal. Second condition है, if d is equal to 0, that represents it will just touch the number line, right? It will just touch the number line. So that represents my roots are nothing but real and equal. And the third case is if d is lesser than 0, so I'll always get an imaginary root. It will never cross the number line. So my roots are nothing but imaginary and of course unequal, right? So now identify d का value क्या है? d is nothing but b square minus 4ac, right? So मेरे पास कुछ patterns बनते हैं. My pattern is nothing but if d is greater than 0, my roots are nothing but real and unequal. If d is equal to 0, my roots are nothing but real and equal. If d is less than 0, my roots are always imaginary and unequal, right? So these are the important things which you need to keep in mind in the case of quadratic format, right? So उसको मैं इसमें describe करता हूँ. आप देख सकते हो यहाँ पे मैंने इसको describe किया हुआ है कि if d value, this is nothing but d here in this case, so I'll mark this one with a red color. So this value is nothing but d here, right? So ये जो value है that's nothing but d, b square minus 4ac, right? So if d square minus 4ac is greater than or equal to 0, right? So two conditions है. If b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, that represents I will have a real root, as well as in this case also will have the real roots. So equal roots is possible when b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. If they are not, the value is not equal, so b square minus 4ac is not equal to 0, greater than 0, that means I'll have different roots, which we have seen, real and unequal, right? So it's given rational where b square minus 4ac, right? Then it will be nothing but a perfect square format. Agar if it's a perfect square format, that means I'll have the value in terms of rational format, right? If this is lesser, that means I'll get the value as if this is greater, so here my conditions I'll get the irrational roots. That means when I have the value as b square minus 4ac is not a perfect square, that means I'll always get the irrational formats, which will always in the conjugate pairs, which is what a plus root b as well as a minus root b will be the format possible, right? So here a plus root b, a does not represent this a and b does not represent this. It's always, now if we'll identify, my roots are nothing but minus b minus root d by 2a, right? Then minus b plus root d by 2a is the format, right? Where d is not a perfect square, that means it's always in these formats, so it will always be in a conjugate pair. If D is a perfect square, I'll definitely get a rational format there. Right, so these are the some basic facts which you need to keep in mind whenever you're dealing with a quadratic. So let's move to the questions. Right, first question, find the root of the quadratic equation x square plus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. आप दो चीज कर सकते हैं, या तो डायरेक्टली ऑप्शन को इंसर्ट करके देखिए इफ यू डोंट नो द फॉर्मेट, सो डायरेक्टली ऑप्शन को इंसर्ट करके देखते हैं. नाउ क्या कंडीशन है, आई हैव टू टाइप्स ऑफ वैल्यूज, राइट, सो -5 3 3 and 5. So let's do one thing, let's insert -5 and check. So if I insert -5 here instead of x square, so -5 square plus 2 into -5 minus 15. So this value is how much, 25 plus this part is nothing but minus now, right, is -10 minus 15, which is definitely equal to 0. So -5 तो रहेगा ही रहेगा, right? So that means I can eliminate this option as well as this option, right? Then I have to check with 3. So 3 if I insert, अगर 3 satisfy करता है, that means A is the answer. If 3 does not satisfy, that means D is the answer, right? So here, correct, because it should be nothing but A, right? So now I will insert the value here, right? So let's try to check. I'll insert the value in this case here. So let's insert. I'll insert 3 here. So if you insert 3 here, that's nothing but 3 square is nothing but 9 plus the value is nothing but 6 minus 15 is equal to 0, right? So that definitely satisfies the condition. मेरा आंसर तो A होना ही चाहिए, right? So if you don't know the format, अगर आपको दिक्कत हो रही है इस cases में, always utilize your options to find out the value. But अगर मुझे find out करना है basic format से, that's nothing but x square plus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. So what was the condition here? I have to write the value, because we know my format is always x square minus my summation of the roots alpha plus beta into x plus product of the roots, right? So that means alpha plus beta is case में क्या हो जाएगा, that's nothing but -2 here, and alpha into beta is nothing but -15. So I have to utilize the numbers in such a format so that it will definitely satisfy the condition. So what are the numbers possible here? My numbers possible are nothing but, let's check. So what are my numbers now? Let's check the numbers here. I can have 3 and 5 I can utilize in this case. That means now it's nothing but -5 plus 3 will give me -2, and -5 into 3 will give me -15, right? So value is nothing but -5 and 3, right? So option utilize kariye if you don't know the basic format, right? Same way, let's come to the next one. Find the roots of the quadratic equation 2x square plus 3x minus 9 is equal to 0. पहले solve करते हैं, फिर I'll go by the options, right? So let's check. So it's about 2x square plus 3x minus 9 is equal to 0. Now हमारे पास क्या क्या conditions थे, identify करें. Initially we have taken the format. I have just multiplied these two values here. So 2 into -9 is nothing but -18, and here it's nothing but 3, right? So I want the values in such a format so that not exactly 3, because ये हो जाएगा -3 इस case में, right? Because it's nothing but ax square or else x square minus summation of the roots into the product of the roots format, right? So now I have to utilize the numbers in such a format so that the product of the two numbers should be equal to -18 and the summation is equal to -3. So क्या क्या condition is 6 and 3 I can take, but my summation is nothing but -3. That means I'll take the values -6 in this case, right? And the product will be -18 in this. Now since the coefficient of x square is equal to 2, so I'll divide the value by 2. I'll divide these values by 2 here. That means it has to be -3 and 3 by 2, right? So let's check whether this satisfies the condition or not. So let's insert -3 here. So -3 square is nothing but 9. 9 into 2 is 18 here, minus this value is nothing but 9, and this is nothing but 9. that satisfies the condition, then I can insert, right? Yes, because that's nothing but B, that's correct, right? So now I can directly utilize my options to find out, या फिर जो मैंने आपको बताया आप ब्रेक कर सकते हो अगर आपको दिक्कत हो रही है. 1 and 2 is the possibility, so 1x and 2x, right? And 9 can be written as 3 into 3, right? So I'll do a cross multiplication here. The value is nothing but 3x here, and here it's nothing but 6x, right? But I want plus 3, that means I'll take this one as plus, this is minus. So my condition is this is plus, this is minus here. So my equation is but x plus 3 into 2x minus 3. So my values are nothing but minus 3 and 3 by 2. तो इसकी जरूरत नहीं है, आप यहाँ से ले सकते हो, because you will take the negative sign here. So plus का negative is negative, minus 3 and negative का negative is positive here. So plus 3 by 2 will be the format, right? So you can directly take the values, right? Property की बात करते हैं. The roots of the equation 3x square minus 12x plus 10 is equal to 0 are now. So 3x square minus 12x plus 10 is equal to 0. Ab nature of the root will always depend on the value b square minus 4ac. Now what is b in this case? B is minus 12, but minus sign does not make any difference. So let's take minus 12 whole square minus 4a is nothing but 3 and c is nothing but 10, right? So that's nothing but 144 minus 120, right? So that's nothing but 24. So that means my roots are nothing but minus b. So that's nothing but 12 here plus minus square root of 24 by the value 2a, that means 6, right? First thing is, now I got d value as greater than 0, right? That means the roots are definitely real and unequal, right? So real and unequal here. So real or equal to definitely chala gaya. Irrationals and unequal, right? So we have to check irrationals. So what is the value, what is the difference between rational numbers and irrational numbers? Irrational numbers are those which are which are in terms of roots, right? Anything which is in terms of roots are nothing but irrational values here, right? And complex value, what is the basic difference between irrational and the complex format? What is the basic difference between irrational and the complex format? So complex is moreover related to the imaginary part, you can say. Vikas, is C the correct answer? Real and equal? Just check. 12 square is 144. 4 times of 3 into 10 is my format given, right? So that means my roots are in this format, right? My roots are in this format. So if we'll further solve this part, 24 can be written as 4 into 6, right? So that's nothing but 12 plus minus 2 root 6 by 6 is the format, right? So rational and unequal to ho nahi sakta hai, because rational numbers are in terms of p by q. This is not in terms of p by q, right? Irrational to definitely ho sakta hai, right? Irrational numbers are what, which are in terms of roots. यहाँ पे मेरा value है that is in terms of roots, and it's nothing but in the unequal format. It will always be irrational and unequal will be the representation possible in this case, right? Correct, Vikas. Complex, which is nothing but the imaginary format, right? So imaginary numbers, my roots are real, which we have already identified. So d value, if it's lesser than 0, that's nothing but an imaginary format, right? So here d value is already greater than 0. So complex to ho nahi sakta, that means it's but irrational and unequal will be the format, right? Coming to the next one. If the roots of the equations, quadratic equations are 20 and minus 7, find the equation. सो मेरे इक्वेशंस क्या है, नथिंग बट एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस समेशन द रूट्स अल्फा प्लस बीटा इंटू एक्स plus alpha into beta should be equal to 0 is the representation. So here it's nothing but x square minus it's nothing but 20 minus 7 will be the value, right, into x plus 20 into minus 7 is the format, right? So x square minus it's nothing but 13x minus 140 is equal to 0 will be the representation here. So that's nothing but x square minus 13x minus 140. दूसरा चीज आप कर सकते हो, you can directly insert the value is 20. So 20 insert करके देखते हैं, x square हो जाएगा 400, right? I have these terms only. Then 13 into 20 is nothing but 260 and 140. So मुझे एक ऐसा केस चाहिए where if I'll use the sign it should be equal to 0. So what's the condition possible? I'll use a minus sign here, I'll use a minus sign here. That's the only condition possible. That means it should be in terms of x square minus 13x minus 140 will be the value here. Correct. Let's take fifth one. If the roots of the equation is 2x square minus 5x plus b is equal to 0 and the ratio is 2:3. Now identify करें, it's but 2x square minus 5x plus b is equal to 0 is nothing but x square minus 5 by 2x plus b by 2 is equal to 0, where 5 by 2 is nothing but the summation of the roots alpha and beta, right? And b by 2 is nothing but alpha into beta, right? So it's already given alpha and beta are in the ratio of 2:3. That means the value is 2 by 2 and this is 3 by 2, right? These are the numbers possible here. So 3 by 2 plus 1 is nothing but 5 by 2. That means the value b by 2 is nothing but 2 by 2 into 3 by 2, right? That represents b value is how much? This is cancelled, should be equal to 3, right? So fifth one, my value is equal to 3 here, right? Sixth देखें, the sum of the squares of two consecutive positive integers exceeds their product by 91. Find the integers. अलजेब्रा की अच्छी बात यह है कि मैक्सिमम टाइम आप ऑप्शंस को यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं. बिफोर सॉल्विंग फर्स्ट चेक योर ऑप्शंस, राइट? सो अगर मैं ऑप्शंस को देखता हूं, द प्रोडक्ट द सम ऑफ द स्क्वायर ऑफ टू कंसेक्यूटिव पॉजिटिव इंटीजर्स. सो मान लिया जाए x is a integer and the next one is about x plus 1. So here they're talking about square of this exceeds the product by minus x into x plus 1 should be equal to 91, right? So that's my relation given here. One of the important thing is, I know if I'll use 10 anywhere, the number will be definitely ending with 0, right? If I'm talking about the product part, right? So now I'll take 9 square for the time being. That's nothing but 81 plus 100 will be the value here, minus 9 into 10, right? Let's check whether it's 91 or not. That's definitely equal to 91. Solve करने की तो जरूरत नहीं है. So it's nothing but 9 and 10 in this case. But if I want to solve, what is my representation here? It's nothing but x square plus x square plus 1 plus 2x minus x square minus x should be equal to 91, right? So that's my representation here. अब एक x square तो I can definitely cancel, right? So remaining is about x square minus here it's something but plus here it's something but x minus, now if it will come towards this side, 90 should be equal to 0. So what are the roots of the equation now? My roots of the equation, identify here the product is nothing but minus 90. That means the roots are nothing but a negative value and a positive value, and the summation alpha plus beta is equal to minus 1, and alpha into beta is nothing but minus 90. So what are the values possible here? My values possible are nothing but one of the root is nothing but so that means x value is how much in this case? X value is nothing but 9 and minus 10. So I should not take minus 10 in this case, I should take 9 here. So x value is 9, x plus 1 is nothing but 10. My option is nothing but 9 and 10. Correct, Vikas. Right. So better utilize the options. Maximum time options को utilize करें so that it will be easy for you to work on. Right. So previous class contest question, again no winner. So let's try to check what can be the answer possible. It's given m raised to n, where m and n are the whole numbers, is equal to 121. So what is the condition? What are the values possible for m and n here? M value will be definitely 11 and n value is nothing but 2. Right. So I'm talking about m minus 1 raised to n plus 1. Right. So that's something but 11 minus 1 raised to 2 plus 1. 10 cube is nothing but 1000 is my value. My answer option is nothing but option 4th. Right. So अब time आ गया है आपके contest question का. The next slide will be your contest question. You know what is the benefit of the contest question? You will have to solve in the fastest way possible. 1 मिनट का टाइम है. 1 मिनट में जिसने जितनी तेजी से सॉल्व किया उससे एक फ्री एटम सेशन मिलेगा एज अ बेनिफिट. एटम सेशन इज नथिंग बट अ डाउट क्लियर सेशन. सो आप अपने डाउट्स क्लियर कर सकते हैं. द डाउट्स विल बी क्लियर्ड विद इन 20 minutes. Right. So let's directly move to the next slide. It has to be test. Sorry. My fault. चलिए फिर से जाते हैं. मैंने गलत बटन दबा दिया. राइट. सो आपका टाइम स्टार्ट होता है अब. लेट्स ट्राई दिस वन. सॉरी स्टार्ट होता है. करेक्ट. Right. 30 seconds remaining. Yes, time up. Let's move to the next question. Now, one root of a quadratic equation x square minus 12x plus a is 0 is thrice of the other. Find the value of a. Right. अब ये क्या है? x square minus 12x plus a is equal to 0, and the root something but 1 is alpha and 1 is nothing but 3 times of alpha. Right. So according to this, 12 should be equal to how much? 12 should be equal to 4 times of alpha. Right. So alpha value is nothing but 3. Alpha value is 3. That means 3 times of alpha is nothing but 3 times of alpha is nothing but 27 in this case, right? So now according to this, let's check. So 1 root of the quadratic equation is nothing but x square minus 12x plus a is equal to 0 is thrice of the other one, right? So I have taken alpha and another one is nothing but 3 times of alpha. 4 times of alpha is equal to 12. Alpha is nothing but 3, so 3 times of alpha is nothing but 27, right? So my value a is nothing but alpha into 3 times of alpha, right? That's my representation here. So now the value is how much? A value is nothing but 81 in this case, and there is no option as 81. My value is nothing but none of these. Correct. Question number 8. If a and b are the roots of the equation x square minus 9x plus 20 is equal to 0, find the values of a square plus b square plus ab. Now अब यहाँ पे तो आप डायरेक्टली आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं. द रूट्स आर नथिंग बट 5 and 4, right? Summation of the roots is equal to 9, product of the roots is equal to 20. That's only possible when it's 5 and 4. So you could have definitely taken 5 square plus 4 square plus 5 into 4, right? So 25 plus 16 plus 20 will be the value possible here. So let's check the value. 45 plus 16 is nothing but 61. My value is supposed to be 61. Agar if you are not able to break the thing, I can always take the value as alpha plus also a plus b. Here can be written as a plus b whole square plus ab is my requirement, right? So a plus b whole square is what? It's but a square plus b square plus 2ab, right? Now if I want AB, that means I have to subtract AB from this one. So I can write the value as nothing but A plus B whole square minus AB is the format. A plus B whole square should be how much? 9 square is 81 minus AB is nothing but 20, right? So 81 minus 20, my value is supposed to be 61, right? या तो डायरेक्टली आइडेंटिफाई कर लीजिए या फिर आप ब्रेक कर सकते हैं. मैक्सिमम टाइम क्वेश्चंस ऐसे होते हैं जहां पे आप वैल्यूज को ब्रेक कर सकते हैं डायरेक्टली. अगर नहीं हो रहा है देन यू विल हैव टू अप्लाई सम ऑफ द आइडेंटिटीज पार्ट, राइट? क्वेश्चन नंबर 9. फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ a by b plus b by a if a and b are the roots of the quadratic equation x square plus 8x plus 4 is equal to 0, right? अब यहाँ पे हमें देखना है कि क्या पॉसिबिलिटीज हो सकती हैं, राइट? सो माय पॉसिबिलिटी कैन बी द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द टू नंबर्स इज 4, अल्फा एंड बीटा is equal to 4, alpha into beta is 4 and alpha plus beta is equal to minus 8, right? So अब यहाँ पे एक प्रॉब्लम तो हो सकता है. I cannot break this one. So what's our possibility? I'll have to go by the basic format. My requirement is nothing but a by b plus b by a is my requirement. Can be written as a square plus b square by ab, right? Which is nothing but a plus b whole square minus 2ab is nothing but a square plus b square by ab is the format. So a plus b whole square is how much? It's nothing but 64 in this case minus 2ab, that's nothing but 8 divided by 4 should be the value, right? So let's check the value. My value is nothing but 16 minus 2. या डायरेक्टली ले सकते हैं या फिर सब्ट्रैक्ट कर लेते हैं. So if we subtract the values, the subtraction is how much? 56 by 4. That's something but 14 in this case. So value is supposed to be 14. Now obviously कभी कभी ऐसा cases होगा when it will be difficult for you to break the values. आप break नहीं कर पा रहे हो तो आप को आइडेंटिटीज यूज करनी पड़ेंगी उन केसेस में, Find the quadratic equations whose roots are reciprocal of the roots of 2x square plus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0, right? So let's find out the roots first. So my roots are what? My roots are now is nothing but, I'll take this value, right? So 2 into 3 is nothing but 6, and so 2 into 3 is 6 here, and the summation is nothing but 5. So what are the conditions possible? Nothing but 2 and 3, right? But यहाँ पे आप आइडेंटिफाई करें, यहाँ पे एक नेगेटिव साइन होना था, यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव साइन है, मतलब ये -2 -3 होना चाहिए, राइट? देन आई विल हैव टू डिवाइड इट बाय माय कोएफिशिएंट 2. My values are nothing but -1 and -3/2. These are my roots available here. So these are my roots available. Cross check करके देखा जाए. So -1 if you insert, that means the value is how much? 2 in this case. This is -5 plus 3. That means it's something but 0, right? That satisfies the condition. या फिर जो हम लोगों ने दूसरा मेथड देखा था, it can be written as 1x 2x, right? 3 के लिए क्या possibilities है? 3 के लिए possibility है 3 into 1, right? So I'll take the value as 3 here, 1 here. हम लोगों को values ऐसे लेना है कि I'll get the summation as 5, right? After cross multiplication. तो ये हो गया x यहाँ पे, ये हो गया that's nothing but 6x, right? So I want the value as plus sign here. That means यहाँ पे negative होना चाहिए था. That means this value now is supposed to be negative in this case, and this value, right? Okay, now यहाँ पे क्या conditions possible हैं? I'll have a negative value in this case. Let's see. Okay, मुझे plus sign चाहिए with this, but let's check whether it satisfies the condition or not. इस condition में this is 6, this is 1, right? So I'll have to, sorry, मेरा condition क्या है कि I'll have to take a positive here, then I'll have to take a negative in this case. But क्या ये satisfy कर रहा है? My roots are not in that format. Other possibilities क्या हो सकते हैं? ये condition है, then it's but x and 2x का value है. I'll take the value as 1 here and I'll take 3 here, right? So my condition possible is, एक condition ये possible है कि this is 3x here and this part is nothing but 2x, right? I want the plus, that means it should be plus of these two values, which definitely satisfies my condition here, right? Because अगर एक नेगेटिव एक पॉजिटिव हो रहा था, मतलब यहाँ पे भी नेगेटिव साइन होना चाहिए था, तो ये कंडीशन तो पॉसिबल नहीं है, राइट? सो ये कंडीशन पॉसिबल हो जाएगा. सो आई कैन राइट द वैल्यू एज x plus 1 into 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. That means the roots are nothing but -3/2 and -1 are the roots available here, right? So now I want the reciprocal of this. If I want the reciprocal of the roots, my reciprocal of the roots are what? It's nothing but -1 itself, and it's nothing but -2/3, right? So summation of the roots is nothing but x square minus summation of these two values, -1 -2/3 into x, plus product is nothing but -1 into -2/3 here, right? So that's nothing but x square. Let's work on this. Now this will be a positive sign now, because I'll take the negative sign outside. So if we'll take this one, the value is nothing but 5x/3, or this will be again a positive sign in this case, right? So that's nothing but 2/3 should be equal to 0, or else 3x square plus 5x plus 2 should be equal to 0, right? तो ये कंडीशन हो गया. अब इस केस में आपको जो आइडेंटिफाई करना है, दैट्स एन इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट हियर, कि इफ द रूट्स आर रेसिप्रोकल, दैट मीन्स आई एम जस्ट चेंजिंग द कोएफिशिएंट्स. सो ये कोएफिशिएंट यहाँ पे आ जा रहा है और ये कोएफिशिएंट यहाँ पे आ जा रहा है, राइट? दैट्स व्हाई आई गॉट द वैल्यू एज 3x स्क्वायर प्लस 5x प्लस 3 इज इक्वल टू 0, राइट. सो इतने बड़े प्रोसेस की जरूरत नहीं होती है. आप ये एक पर्टिकुलर थिंग आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं, जब भी रूट्स रेसिप्रोकल के फॉर्मेट में होंगे हम सीधे कोफिशिएंट्स को इंटरचेंज कर देंगे, राइट. सो दैट विल बी द फॉर्मेट. सो ये सारे बेसिक क्वेश्चन थे जो आपको ध्यान में रखने थे, बेसिक टेक्निक्स जो आपको ध्यान में रखने थे. डेफिनेटली विल बी डीलिंग विद सम ऑफ द एडवांस क्वेश्चंस आल्सो आफ्टरवर्ड्स व्हेन विल बी डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द पेपर बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस, राइट. सो आज का जो समरी था, वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट लिटिल बिट ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट्स अबाउट द क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन. क्या क्या टेक्निक्स यूज करने चाहिए. मैक्सिमम टाइम आपको ऑप्शन पे ध्यान देना है. अगर ऑप्शन सेटिस्फाइज कर रहा है तो फिर आप डायरेक्टली वर्क कर सकते हैं. अगर आप वैल्यूज को ब्रेक कर पा रहे हैं डायरेक्टली, दैट मीन्स आपका जॉब तो हो गया. ये सारी चीजें आपको ध्यान में रखनी है, राइट. सो थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस. बट बिफोर लिविंग I would like to ask something, not ask, share something. So I would have definitely hoped that you have liked the class. If you have liked the class, please share this one, this video with your friends so that they can be benefited here. After the class, now you will have the CPP time. Now what is CPP basically? That's about class practice pack time, where in this case there will be 10 questions, also you can say 10 best questions from the topic will be available in your passport, right. So those who have joined the passport, for them it's already unlocked, right. So you can directly go to the passport. Immediately you can go to the passport, just check the format. We are talking about the quadratic equation. There will be 10 questions related to quadratic equation. Solve that so that you will have a quite better brush up of the things, right. And those who have not a member of passport, please join the passport so that those CPP will be unlocked, because for them the CPP is locked, right. So join the passport, the CPP will be unlocked for you, and then you can take those 10 questions. You know what is the benefit of joining passport. If you join the passport, you will have an access of all the tests available. It will for the entire year. There will be a lot of practice questions available. There will be bonus contents available, right. So now it's a request to the passport members, start solving the CPP questions right away, right. All the best. Thank you.